Meeting to order. This is the May 8, 2014 regular Village of Indian Head Park Board of Trustees meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Andrews.
Present.
Trustee Schnapper.
Here.
Trustee Walsh. Here. Trustee Bailey.
Here.
Trustee Henshaw.
Here.
Trustee Alaka. Here. Trustee Wittenberg. Here. We have a quorum, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Please rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first order of business is the mayor's report. Just a couple of quick things. The Easter egg hunt held on April 19th was a tremendous success, and thank you to Mother Nature for cooperating with some decent weather for us. There were quite a good attendance there, and I'd like to thank all the volunteers who were there that morning to help us distribute the eggs to get it set up. The students at LaGrange Highland School for their help in stuffing the eggs with candy. And again, thank you to our corporate good neighbor Walgreens at Joliet and Willow Springs Road for their donation of all the candy this year for the Easter egg hunt. Just this week, I think it was Tuesday, the board received a draft copy of a budget from the Finance Committee and a couple of memos. And it's not an agenda item to discuss today's having just been distributed. What I would ask the trustees to do is this. Take the next 3 weeks, and that would be till Thursday, April 29th, and look it over. And if you, hopefully with the Finance Committee, pick your top items that you want to talk about, or perhaps suggest changes or whatever, and I'm not going to say limited to so many, just hopefully it won't be a long list from 7 different people. But anyway, to do that and send it in an email to Dave Brink. After that, Dave will compile a complete listing of all the input from all the trustees, everybody, and I can imagine that perhaps Norm and Brenda, having been on the Finance Committee, had already had their input in there, but certainly can still follow up. He will, Dave Brink then, the following Monday or Tuesday, he will forward the compiled list of input on the budget to the rest of the trustees, and then we will take that up in earnest at the June 12th board meeting. And then I would ask you to consider, I'm not setting this, but to consider I want to set with some notice a backup date for a second or a special board meeting for the end of June, being, I think the Thursday is June 26th, for a special board meeting. If we're unable to finalize the budget, hopefully we can in June, but if not, at the June 12th meeting, we'll have that set as a backup. We will decide the date of that backup meeting at the June 12th meeting though. Recently, I had an opportunity, along with Chief Brooks, to meet with representatives from the Pace Bus Service concerning a possibility of generating some revenue for the village through an installation of a bus shelter or shelters. And I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure if I like the idea, don't like it, if it's lucrative enough, but I have heard from other towns that they're generating some income from having the shelters along the Pace Bus routes and the advertising that's sold and it's put on one side of the shelters. I don't know that we have all that many places to put something up, but it's something for us to look at. And then lastly, I would just like to bring to your attention that the time we meet next in June, we will have past Memorial Day. So let me ask everybody on Memorial Day to honor our servicemen and women, and if you have an opportunity, perhaps attend some kind of event. And on behalf of the entire village, I extend our thanks to the families of the servicemen who have lost their lives in defense of the country, and to our current men and women in the armed forces. Moving along to the consent agenda, we have two items, basically reappointment of two planning and zoning commissioners, Diane Andrews and Jack Yelnick, for a term ending April 13, 2017. Who make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Moved by trustee Walsh, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Bailey, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
You're opposed?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
We didn't get to talk about it, and I would like to know if we had other people interested. If there was a process to let the community know that there was a term expiring and more people coming, so I had questions about it, but we didn't get to talk about it. So.
Okay, I understand, and the answer is, in light of the fact that they're working on renovating the 64-1 zoning code, and they have prior experience, I didn't solicit any interest. I thought it would be the prudent thing to have experienced commissioners on there to rewrite and update the zoning code. So anyway, motion, in opinion of chair, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Approval of financial reports. Treasurer Busa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight I have the financial reports for March 2014 and April. Before I get into the reports, I would like to say something about April. You alluded to it a little bit regarding the Finance Committee and their work. I would like to say that Mr. Brink, in my opinion, did an excellent job in working on getting this financial report done. He worked on this over the weekend on his own time to get the April report done. As the board members know, April is the last month in our fiscal year. And so Dave wanted to have this information compiled, not only for having the report, but also for the finance work. So I would like to commend Dave for his hard work in getting the April report done. I have reviewed both reports, and for the month of March, the revenues were $449,543.60. The expenditures, $253,777.72. And at the end of March 2014, in all funds, the village had $1,607,390.49. And for the month of April 2014, the revenues were $440,991.77. The expenditures, $401,497.99. And at the end of April 2014, in all funds, the village had $1,534,446.75. And that's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Trustees, any questions or comments regarding either of the two financial reports as presented? Okay, hearing none, Chair would entertain a motion to approve the financial report for the month ending March 31st, 2014.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Schnaufer, is there a second? Second by trustee O'Loughlin. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The financial report for ending March 31st, 2014 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve the financial report for the month ending April 30th, 2014 as presented.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Schnaufer, is there a second? Second by trustee O'Loughlin. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Report ending April 30, 2014 is approved as presented. Okay, next item of business is the approval of board meeting minutes for the regular board meeting of April 10, 2014. Are there any corrections or changes on any of the first three pages? 4 or 5? 6 or 7? 8 or 9?
Yes.
Go ahead, which page?
On 9, second paragraph, about the 5th sentence down, it says trustee Hinshaw asked if the materials were just provided today, if there are other options. And I believe I asked if the 82-page agreement that was provided after the start of the meeting, if there are any other options.
Okay, trustee, so you want to change it to read, trustee Hinshaw asked if the 82 pages of materials that were.
82-page agreement that
Okay.
was just provided.
Instead of materials?
Yes,
Okay.
that were provided after the meeting started, if there are any other options. Thank you.
Anybody have an objection to that? Okay, how about page 10 or 11? Page 12, 13, 14, or 15, or 16? Hearing none, and with the one correction, the chair would enter, as identified by trustee Hinshaw, chair would entertain a motion to approve the board meeting minutes of April 10, 2014.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Walsh, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee O'Loughlin, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, motion carries. The minutes of April 10, 2014 are approved. And we are moving to the agenda items only. Questions or comments from the audience regarding the agenda items? Hearing none, then we will go to the first item, is a resolution expressing official intent regarding a certain capital expenditure to be reimbursed from proceeds of an obligation to be issued by the Village of Indian Head Park, Cook County, Illinois. Council, the purpose of this ordinance is to allow us to charge off to the bond issue any expenses that we have.
Yes, to reimburse the village for expenses that they incur prior to receiving the proceeds from the bond issue.
Okay. Trustees, any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, chair would entertain a motion to approve resolution number R5-14-1, expressing official intent regarding a certain capital expenditure to be reimbursed from proceeds of an obligation to be issued by the Village of Indian Head Park, Cook County, Illinois.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Schnaufer, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Wittenberg. Roll call, please.
Trustee Schnaufer.
Yes.
Trustee Wittenberg.
Aye.
Trustee Walsh.
Yes.
Trustee Henshaw.
Yes.
Trustee Bailey.
Yes.
Trustee O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. I understand from council that there is a motion to table item number 2, which is an ordinance providing for the issuance of a $2,500,000 general obligation bond, series 2014, of the Village of Indian Head Park, Cook County, Illinois, for the purpose of providing for the payment of costs of roadway improvements within the village, for the payment of the expenses incident thereto, and providing for the levy and collection of the direct annual tax sufficient for the payment of the principal and, payment of principal and interest on said bonds.
The technical procedure would be to have a motion and a second to approve, and then a motion to table and a second. A motion, second to approve, and then a motion and a second to table if it's.
Okay, the first step is the motion to approve this ordinance as presented. Then we will move to the second step, is the motion to table.
I'll make the motion to approve the ordinance.
Okay, made by trustee Walsh, second.
I'll second.
Second by trustee O'Loughlin. And now, is there a motion to table?
I'll make the motion to table the ordinance.
Motion to table by trustee Walsh, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee O'Loughlin. Roll call,
On the motion to table, you can take a voice vote, but you have the option for roll call also.
Voice vote, all in favor of the motion to table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, the ordinance is tabled. The next item is a resolution authorizing the execution of a legal services agreement by and between Storino, Romello, and Durkin and the Village of Indian Head Park, Illinois, for the issuance of the village's $2.5 million general obligation bond series 2014. And we'll, as I also understand, a motion to table would be in order for this. So I would first ask for a motion to approve, followed by then the motion to table. First step is the motion to approve this resolution.
Okay, can I ask a question to clarify?
Yes.
By approving it and then tabling it, it could come back later, right?
Yes, well, by tabling it, it'll be on the next board meeting agenda. I'll make the motion.
Moved by trustee Daly. Is there a second? Second by trustee Schnoffer. Now with respect to a motion to table the resolution, who will make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by trustee Daly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Wittenberg. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion to table the resolution regarding the legal service agreement is approved and the matter is tabled. It's not approved, it's approved to be tabled. Item 4, a resolution authorizing the execution of a legal services agreement by and between Chapman and Cutler and the Village of Indian Head Park, Illinois, for the issuance of the village's $2.5 million general obligation bond series 2014. I understand also there is a motion to table this resolution. So I will start with requesting a maker of a motion to approve the resolution. Moved by trustee Schnoffer. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Walsh. Is there a maker of a motion to table that resolution?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Wittenberg.
Second.
Second by trustee O'Loughlin. All in favor signify, this with respect to tabling the matter, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion to table the resolution, item 4 on the agenda, is approved. Fifth item is a resolution awarding the contract and authorizing the issuance of a notice of award for the 2014 road improvements project for the Village of Indian Head Park, Illinois. Again, I understand a motion to table will be forthcoming on this, so I will ask for step 1, a motion to approve the resolution. Moved by trustee Bailey. Is there a second? Second by trustee O'Loughlin. Is there a maker of a motion to table?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Wittenberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Schnoffer. All in favor of the motion to table signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of chair, the ayes have it. The matter is tabled to the next meeting. Sixth item is an ordinance waiving bids, awarding a contract, and authorizing the issuance of a notice of award for water main improvements for the Village of Indian Head Park, Illinois. Again, I understand from council that a motion to table is forthcoming, so I will ask for a maker of the motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Walsh. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Bailey. Is there a maker of the motion to table?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Walsh, and second
I'll second.
by trustee O'Loughlin. All in favor signify by saying aye on the motion to table.
Aye.
Opposed? Opinion of chair, the ayes have it. The motion is tabled to the next board meeting. Item 7 is approval of an ordinance and contract for police patrol for the period of May 1st, 2014 through April 30th, 2016 between the Village of Indian Head Park and the Township of Lyon by the Indian Head Park Police Department. This will be ordinance, number 2014-9. By way of background, the village has provided called Higher Back Police Protection Service to unincorporated LaGrange Highlands by virtue of a contract with Lyons Township. The current contract expired on April 30th. However, an opportunity to rebid the contract would have presented itself. Came to my attention after the March board meeting, and the deadline for the bid was prior to the April board meeting. Village having provided the service for a while, worked on with Chief Brooks, and you can add to this. The net result was we submitted a bid. We were at $30, and I believe it was 71 cents an hour. We increased the charge for the service to $32.71 per hour. We provide 3,125 hours worth of
3,120 hours per year.
3,120 per year. And as it turned out, there was ourselves and one other bidder. Last time, I think we were the only bidder, and this time the Cook County Sheriff Office bid to take the contract, in effect, to operate the contract for the township rather than us. They bid $34, so we were the successful low bidder at $32.71. And I had it on the agenda last month. I expected that the township was going to award the contract at their meeting that night that the bids were open, which I believe was, I forget, April 8th, thank you. And just as we had done with several items tonight, something came up that caused them to have to table it, so I had to pull it off the agenda. Since then, the township has awarded the contract to the Village of Indian Head Park, and this is basically going to be our ratification. The 3271.
Yes, that was the breakdown we had.
I have.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
All right, we provide 3,120 hours worth of police patrol protection to the unincorporated area of the LaGrange Highlands around Indian Head Park. And at $32.71, is what I distributed to the trustees as a breakdown. But basically what it involves is that we pay police officers who work what we call higher back. These are people that are on patrol performing the duties on the higher back, typically part-time employees, part-time police officers, or they get $19 an hour. There are administrative costs that we attribute per year of $500 an hour. There is in the bid $6,635 estimated car maintenance, oil changes, repairs, spark plugs, whatever, fuel injection, dating myself. $7,500 attributed to Social Security and or IMRF contributions. $6,739.20 estimated fuel cost, and $1,823 for the share of liability insurance that is attributed both to higher back with IRMA, so we are covered by IRMA when the officers are out there doing it. And this then has a remainder after you factor all of that in on an hourly basis of $19,578, or in effect $6.28 per hour of the 3,120 hours. And And that is money that, the higher back, the benefit we have gotten over the years is, besides the goodwill of helping the neighbors, is the ability to purchase a new patrol car at least once every 2 years. That's where that money would have been, the portion.
So when was that, was it squad car, in this last contract then?
The squad car was in the contract last summer, but because the budget deficit, the board made the decision to take the squad car out last year, so we didn't buy it.
And this year we'll be able to do it. For the total in the prior contract, for the 3,120 hours multiplied by $30.71, we paid, the Highlands paid $191,000 for that service. And as a result of the $2 increase, it'll go to $204,000, $110. So that'll be a net increase of $12,947.
Is that over the 2 years?
Over the 2-year period. So
Right,
there
no, I
is
was just wanting to clarify when they, you had mentioned that they had bought or purchased a squad car on our behalf, is that true? Or they had given money in lieu of that? I've heard a couple different things.
No, my recollection is they have never purchased a squad car for us. They give us the money,
Right.
and then we put it in the budget, and when this was set up, we were supposed to be able to afford the new car out of our purchases. So last year, it was in, but then it was taken out.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand.
Right. So was there a line item where they gave us the money for the car, or are we to buy the car out of our revenue from the higher back program?
I'm not aware, although Dave Brink could probably answer, I'm not aware that there is a line item from the higher back, because they're not dividing the payment, they're just paying for the hours of service. And we get the lump sum, and then we have to pay the things that we're required to pay, and have money left over, which we then can budget towards a new car.
So they were never buying the car, we had the deal at the hourly rate, and from that money, we could buy a car.
To apply it for the purchase of the car.
Thank you.
And one thing to note too is that, from what I understand, is that the car that's being used, that we did use, is the car will be turning in, this year, we'll be getting a new car. It has 144,000 miles on it, and it's ready to be accessed. But we do use both a village car on occasion as well as that other car. So they're somewhat interchangeable, but we do use it based upon, the use. So,
Go ahead.
So having reviewed this, and I appreciate the information, one of the things, recommendations I would like to make, I know that this was already executed basically and negotiated with the township. I think we really, over the next 2 years, have to look at the contract and agreement itself, because I'm not a big proponent of putting pass-through costs such as fuel and oil and these kinds of things where we have to absorb price increases or decreases of a commodity. Just like when you buy a cruise line ticket, if the price of oil goes over a certain amount, your price is going to go up. We should not be having to absorb the expense increases of motor fuel because we're in a contract with them. And I feel that that either needs to be changed to a variable cost that we term differently in the agreement. If our costs go up on their behalf, they should bear the expense of paying those cost increases. And I know you increased it by $2, but the cost of gas is, it may go to $5, right? And we've made, I know David has calculated the average cost, he's done a good job of doing all of that. But in the private sector, we don't take the risks of fuel costs. We have fuel surcharges, and we get that money from the client. Just like they're our client, they should be paying for the cost of gas and the cost of operating the vehicle. And I believe there needs to be a better way to term that in the agreement. It's sort of an antiquated agreement, the way it's written, and I think we could do maybe talk to them before the negotiation starts next time, and come up with a better way to come to that agreement with them.
Certainly could be looked at. There are a lot of things going on, as you're aware of. We have a new chief came on board, contract ended, we needed to decide to bid or not bid. I personally urge that the board pass this. I think it's a good deal. The guys, when they're on hire back, are available to back up our police. They do pass through our town. There's an intangible benefit of being good neighbors to the surrounding community and helping out the township. And yes, this contract has been around for a while, and so it does work, it would be worth to look at and figure out how to do it.